The Inferno, Canto 26. Take joy, O Florence, for you are so great. Your wings beat over land and sea. Your fame resounds through hell. Among the thieves are found 5 citizens of yours who make me feel ashamed, and you are raised by them to no great praise. But if as morning nears we dream the truth, it won't be long before you feel the pain that Prato, to name but one, desires for you. Were it already come, it would not be too soon. But let it come, since come indeed it must, and it will weigh the more on me, the more I age. We left that place, and on those stairs that turned us pale when we came down, my leader now climbed back and drew me up. As we took our solitary way among the juts and crags of the escarpment, our feet could not advance without our hands. I grieved then, and now I grieved again, as my thoughts turned to what I saw. And more than is my way, I curb my powers, lest they run on where virtue fails to guide them, so that if friendly star or something better still has granted me his boon, I don't refuse the gift. As when a peasant resting on a hillside in the season when he who liked the world least hides his face from us, at the hour when the fly gives way to the mosquito, sees fireflies that glimmer in the valley where he perhaps plows fields and harvests grapes. With just so many flames, the 8th crevasse was everywhere aglow, as I became aware once I arrived where I could see the bottom. And as the one who was avenged by bears could see Elijah's chariot taking flight, when the horses reared and rose to heaven, but made out nothing with his eyes except the flame alone ascending like a cloud into the sky, so each flame moves along the gullet of the trench. And though none reveals a theft, each flame conceals a sinner. Rising to my feet to look, I stood up on the bridge. Had I not grasped a jutting crag, I would have fallen in without a shot. My leader, when he saw me so intent, said, "The spirits stand within the flames. Each one is wrapped in that in which he burns." "Master," I replied, "I am the more convinced to hear you say it. That is what I thought, and had it in my mind to ask you this. Who is in the flame so riven at the tip it could be rising from the pyre on which Eteocles was laid out with his brother?" They replied, "Within this flame find torment Ulysses and Diomed. They are paired in God's revenge as once they earned his wrath. In their flame, they mourn the stratagem of the horse that made a gateway through which the noble seed of Rome came forth. There they lament the wiles for which in death the Adamia mourns Achilles still, and there they make amends for the Palladium. If they can speak within those flames," I said, "pray you, Master, and I pray again, and may my prayer be 1,000 strong, do not forbid my lingering a while until the twin-forked flame arrives. You see how eagerly I lean in its direction." And he to me, "Your prayer deserves much praise. Therefore I grant it, but on condition that you hold your tongue. Leave speech to me, for I have understood just what you want. And since they were Greeks, they might disdain your words." Once the flame had neared, when he thought the time and moment right, I heard my leader speaking in this way. "O you who are twin within a single fire, if I've earned your favor while I lived, if I've earned your favor in whatever measure, when in the world I wrote my lofty verses that do not move away, then do not move away. Let one of you relate just where, having lost his way, he went to die." And the larger horn of that ancient flame began to murmur and to tremble like a flame that is worried by the wind. Then, brandishing his tip this way and that, as if it were the tongue of fire that spoke, it brought forth a voice that said, "When I took leave of Circa, who for a year and more beguiled me there, not far from Gaeta, before Aeneas gave that name to it, not tenderness for a son, no filial duty towards my aged father, nor the love I owed Penelope that would have made her glad, could have overcome the fervor that was mine to gain experience of the world and learn about man's vices and his worth. And so I set forth on the open deep with but a single ship, with that handful of shipmates who had not deserted me. One shore and the other I saw as far as Spain, Morocco, the island of Sardinia, and other islands set into that sea. I and my shipmates had grown old and slow by the time we reached the narrow straits where Hercules marked off the limits, warning all men to go no further. On the right-hand side, I left Seville behind. On the other, I had left Quetta. Oh, brothers, I said, who in the course of 100,000 perils at last have reached the West to such brief wakefulness of our senses as remains to us, do not deny yourselves a chance to know, following the sun, the world where no one lives. Consider how your souls were sown. You are not made to live like brutes or beasts, but to pursue virtue and knowledge. With this brief speech, I had my companions so eager for the journey, I could scarce have held them back. And having set our stern to the sunrise, in our mad flight, we turned our oars to wings, always gaining on the left. Now night was gazing on the stars that light the other pole, the stars of our own so low they did not rise above the ocean floor. 5 times the light beneath the moon had been rekindled, and has often been put out since we began our voyage on the deep, when we could see a mountain, distant, dark and dim. In my sight, it seemed higher than any I had ever seen. We rejoiced, but joy soon turned to grief. For from that unknown land, there came a whirlwind that struck the ship head on. 3 times it turned her and all the waters with her. At the 4th, our stern reared up, the prow went down as pleased another, until the sea again closed over us. Thank you.
Okay.